This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Every day we're stuck inside. From public places we will hide. 1 million streams are keeping us alive. I think of what the world might be outside of Netflix on TV. 1 million streams is keeping me a slouch. 1 million streams while we're all stuck on the couch.
I wondered why you chose the word a slouch.
What else rhymes with slouch?
Yeah. You deserve
Thank
this.
you.
You deserve
Thank you.
this.
One take, everybody.
Well done, Michelle Williams.
That's one of the best ones I've ever heard from you,
Oh,
honestly.
you stop that right now.
No, that was really good.
Because I was actually on key.
You were on key.
Stop
You've
that.
been practicing that, haven't you?
Like 3 times.
Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And Jacob.
And we are distanced apart here in the baking cave
Yes, we
from
are.
one
Yep.
another.
We all have clothes on while we huddle in the closet together.
I brought the antibacterial wipes, and so we're...
This sounds appropriate for what Jake just said. Yes.
But we'd like to thank you for listening to our last show, the finale of our 2000s alt rock
We
tournament.
picked a winner.
We did. We picked a winner, and I think it's okay to spoil it now, but we had some people who were happy about that, and some people were not happy about that.
Yeah.
Generally, I think everyone was pretty satisfied with it, but
Like, not the way we got there.
No.
But what we
Not
ended up with.
always. the way
Almost
that
every
got there.
comment said, I didn't like most of the decisions, but you landed where you should.
Somehow we got to the right final two.
which is honestly the opposite of what it usually is.
Yeah. True.
Kendall
It's like the
J.
journey was fun, but you guys sucked at the end.
Kendall J on Twitter said, signs of the apocalypse. Number 1, disease. Number 2, earthquakes. Number 3, zombie hordes taking all the toilet paper. Number 4, Jimmy Eats World makes the top 4 of any top list. I mean, I like Jimmy Eats World as much as most other guys. Apparently not as much as you guys, but really? Well, I'm off to go buy fire insurance.
Listen to more
So
Jimmy
that's a
Eat
sign
World.
of the apocalypse.
Apparently.
Thanks for listening, Kendall.
Patrick Rhodes said, definitely tier 1 of your music bracket shows. Yeah, and Autoslave were the Cinderella stories of the bracket. I wanted the Killers to win, but I respect how huge and influential Linkin Park was on 2000s alt rock, even though Mr. Brightside was on the UK charts from its release until last year.
What?
Kind of impressive.
It is crazy.
And then finally, from Rachel Crump, Jacob is dead to me. And she said, truly, I knew Incubus wouldn't make it to the end, but to lose to Nickelback, the worst band of all time, the Totinos of the pizza world, it's just not
Totinos.
right. It hurts the
well
heart.
played. Well played. Hey, if you'll remember, who was it? Rachel?
Yeah.
That was Rachel Crump, yeah.
Kent also voted for Nickelback.
I voted for Incubus. That was Joel who voted for Nickelback.
No, the next time you voted for Nickelback.
Well, then Scott...
As a joke.
No, you voted for them.
I think
because that
it's
was
'cause
my
they
favorite part.
Don't worry about it.
This felt a little good for me because then Scott Sprague commented on replied to Rachel's comment and said, hey, Rachel, reminds me of the time Jake picked Ursula over Maleficent.
No, that was a solid decision.
Boom!
That was a solid
Water
decision.
versus fire.
Vindicated!
Water versus fire makes sense.
No.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
not make
It
sense.
does. It makes
We're
perfect
going back
sense.
3 years now. What's going on?
Anyway.
Let's revisit some of our best arguments
we'd
and
like to
relive
thank
them
you.
together.
We also, I was going to say, we have some iTunes reviews I'd like to read off today from Will Hansen. It's Hansn. There's no E there.
Oh, I was like, are you
Will
okay?
Hansen. He says, if you want to learn more about movies, music, food, comics, and basically anything else, plus laugh your head off, Baconsale is the podcast for you. Hot tip, episode 213 about Stranger Things is a must listen.
Really? That episode?
I liked it, and I like that.
no
I
idea.
love when people give random recommendations. Also, this is from Burhelstern, Brhellstrn, Burhelstern. They say, exceptional.
That's it?
That's it.
I'll take it.
That's all we need.
It's like the opposite of Sam Ma, that's for sure.
Oh, no.
Well.
We love you, Sam. And then finally,
jokes.
From Shane Hyatt, he says, this is by far my favorite podcast. These three guys always talk about the important things in this life, like how, sorry, I got to laugh because it's like the important things, like how, like who would win in a fight between Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog, who the best alternative rock band from the 2000s, even though they are wrong, driving etiquette, and maybe the most important, which soda is Baconsale approved. I listen to these guys every Monday, and they always make me laugh. I highly recommend listening. Thank you, Shane.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Will Henson. Thank you, Bill Hurstern. We appreciate you and your iTunes reviews. Give us a review at iTunes or on Google Podcasts, wherever you can find a place to review for Baconsale. Do it.
Yes.
We love seeing them.
And speaking of appreciation, we do have 2 new patrons this week.
Yeah.
And they're both tier 1 patrons.
Yay.
So first off, we have Monica Harper, tier 1. Monica,
Monica.
thank you so much.
Thanks, Monica, for support.
And joining her, Emily Ellis. Love the alliteration. Emily Ellis.
Hi, Emily.
Superhero
Thank
or
you for being a
supervillain.
listener of Baconsale
Emily
and patron of
Ellis.
Baconsale.
But both great.
Those are great names.
And speaking of patrons, we just did a Bacon bit that we released on patreon.com/Baconsale. A little bit of a heavier episode. These are heavier times, but we do have an announcement to make.
Two
on
announcements,
the show.
actually. Two short announcements.
We do.
First of all, we are going to, due to current events, we are obviously being cautious here, and we realize we should probably be cautious a couple weeks down the road. So we have postponed our anniversary show, which normally takes place mid-April.
Yeah.
So, Spencer Larson, you get to continue to be the listener with a capital L a little bit longer, but watch out. As soon as things clear up, your head's going to be on the
As
chopping
soon as
block
people
again.
dare to be
You're
around
gonna be in
us.
trouble again, Spencer.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's going to be hard to beat, honestly, listener. So be
No,
prepared if you're gonna
Once
play.
we take those faulty buzzers away, I think we'll be fine. All right.
He's got my vote.
And so we do have a second announcement to make. Jake, I'm going to give this one to you.
Okay. The second announcement is that since we're not going to do an anniversary show, I don't see the point in even staying.
Oh my gosh.
Don't do it like that.
Wow.
No, so listener, on a completely serious, non-joke tone, I have a couple of twins. Well, no, one
A couple of twins.
I mean,
Wow.
does that mean four? I guess it might.
What are you, Joel?
Yeah, exactly. He only has them four at a time now.
Yeah.
Anything else is a waste of his
Poor wife.
effort, you know. So no, I have twins coming up really soon. There's between Corona and a couple other things that are going on. I have asked the guys if I could take a little paternity leave. So I'm going to be handing off the reins to whatever lucky guest comes on and gets to sit with these handsome fellas for
We're
a
bringing
little
in
bit.
handsome guys?
Yeah, Kent insisted.
I'm growing a mustache, guys.
He
Oh,
is. He
yes,
is.
that's
So I don't know exactly how long the paternity leave will be because it depends on how things go. So the twins will almost certainly be anyway. There's some
Life is
complications. We expect
crazy.
NICU, and life is weird. And so
I mean, it
anyway,
sounds-
so
it
these guys
sounds-
were nice enough to give me a little bit of time.
It sounds minimalized, but
We had a bill. We're taking out of your 401k. From
Yeah.
Baconsale.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
and if you call it paternity leave, you're not going to be paid for this. I just want you to know.
Okay, that's
Well, we'll
fair.
take it from your sick leave first, and then we'll go into your vacation.
Well, you guys are
And
going to like that even more because I think all the the potential patrons that were going to join that weren't now they can.
Now that you're off the show.
Now that I'm off the show, that they can finally. So listeners, if you were waiting till I was leaving, go ahead and come on.
I was waiting.
And I was going to say we're being a little flippant about this,
Yeah.
just because it's hard. This is something we didn't want to have to deal with, but we knew it was something inevitable with the twins coming. And Jacob has been a part of the show since the beginning, since 5 years ago when we started. And we wanted to make sure we gave him his due by letting him know how much we appreciate him, both on our Bacon bit and on this episode. But don't worry, I don't want you to stress out. Everything seems to be changing right now in the world,
Right.
but it's okay. This is just Jacob's got to take care of his family, and we've always said that family comes first. Take care of yourself here on Baconsale.
Like, we love Jake so much, we're forcing him to come back at some point as soon as humanly possible. And so
As
please,
soon as the little humans allow me.
yeah.
yeah, as soon as he gets his feet back under him.
When they're 7, maybe.
Yeah. When they're
no.
7.
7 weeks is what I mean.
People are freaking out right now
No,
that you
but-
just said that.
And honestly, like, so yeah, we may have a couple revolving guests come in and take Jake's spot for a little bit, but then
Maybe it's
Jake will
just
come in
Ken
and
and I. Yeah,
do.
we get each other in a room.
Yeah, and if you think you're better at this than me, you're probably right. And
No.
you reach out to these guys, and maybe they'll let you know.
No, we're not taking applications.
But also, and yeah, don't miss Jake too much because I'm going to force him to do cameo guest spots on the show for the time being, and then we can get you back for
I'll
good.
be back. And I am, I mean, hopefully continue to be in charge of the anniversary show whenever that's going to happen. And so I take that on as a responsibility. So I'll at least be back whenever we end up being
We just
able
want to
to
make
do
sure that his wife is taken care of,
Hopefully
his kids
that's
are
it.
taken care of, and that he's taken care of. So,
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Thank you, fellas.
hey,
Well,
thank you.
We love you, Jake.
And thank you, listener.
Sincerely.
we-
I hate to be so serious, but we do love you.
You can give me a 6-foot hug after this.
I like you as a friend.
Thank you.
12-inch whisper.
I like you as a
6-foot hug.
podcast acquaintance.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just soften it up a bit.
You're just pulling it back? What's
Well,
going on?
a friend just felt so forward. I mean, we've only been recording every week for 5 years.
Yeah, you can't say love.
should've
LUV still sounds like love.
Oh,
you guys,
you're right.
Hey,
Love
you guys are. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you guys are perfectly adequate podcasts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please leave us an iTunes review.
So yeah,
3 stars.
like I said, we don't want that to. We don't want to dwell on that because the whole point of Baconsale is that we want to be kind of the distraction to maybe all the chaos that's happening in the world.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about today. But it kind of is. What are we talking about today, Jacob?
Today we're going to talk about what to stream during the quarantine.
Ooh,
Aha.
rhymed. I like it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even need to be a quarantine because
It's just what to
people
stream.
just stream TV. In fact, I think entertainment is going to change radically. Already,
It's all going to standard definition.
yeah, that's
In
oh
Europe, yeah.
man.
No, here too. YouTube started
Really?
doing it already.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if you guys saw this. This is the first weekend ever where $0 have gone into the box office in U.S. cinematic history.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Did Trolls World Tour release or something?
Everyone's like, I will not see that.
I will not see any movie.
Any new movie or any movie that's been out for a few weeks has gone direct to digital.
Kent, what is your professional opinion on this? Are they going to just release more movies together, or are they going to just push
you
everything
mean in the end
back
of this year?
into eternity?
Well, we've already seen Wonder Woman get delayed until August. I think they're hoping that will be the first major movie of the summer.
Oh, wow.
But I do think that most movies will be pushed. I think Black Widow they're waiting on to see because it was meant to come out like first week of May.
Yeah, but does that mean the end of this year
I
is going
think
to be stacked?
December is going to be stacked.
Or is just everything just pushed
already
back
Thanksgiving and Christmas were stacked for blockbusters. It's just going to be decimated by
Yeah,
them.
but now no one's going to make any money on these.
Well, eventually, because when people are finally ready to see film again, ready to go to the theaters,
I'm ready now.
There will be, well, me too.
Yeah.
But when people trust theaters, there will be a lot of money to be made. Hopefully.
But the thing is, we know that a
Weird
lot of
world.
people like. We don't want to make this. We want to make this show as evergreen as possible. We also know this is something that's happening to everyone right now. But we know that a lot of people are kind of stuck inside, and they don't want to watch the same old movie they've seen a dozen times, and they want to try something new.
Yeah.
So we came up with some suggestions for TV shows because I'll tell you what. One of the best ways to pass time is watch an engaging television series that pulls you from episode to episode and makes you look forward to when you can watch it again.
That way,
That is nice.
they're your new friends.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, you can't make any new friends anymore.
Yeah, not when you have a mustache.
And we may
I walked right into that.
we may be bringing up ones you've already heard of before, and that's fine, but we're kind of just like
Well, sometimes that's the point for some of these categories.
exactly. Reminding you of good stuff that's out there, but also introducing you to some new things as well.
Right.
So we have seven categories that we're going to go through, and all three of us have recommendations to go through, and we're going to go through each one of them. And the only criteria we said is that it had to be a TV show, and it had to be available on
A free stream. Well, not free.
one of the big four
Yes.
subscription services. So
Right.
you don't have to buy it a la carte. You can just watch it on a subscription service like Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. Those are the big four that we were talking about.
All right, let's get this started then, and I'm also going to play along.
Yay!
Our first one.
last show.
You waited till your last show.
Finally, I'm going to
Join in.
participate. Yeah. Usually, I just like watching you guys, but tonight,
Gross.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you like how we acted differently? Joel doesn't like being watched. I do.
Yeah. I know.
They just have a mustache, so.
I think I like to be the one watching.
All right, our first one is the one you're not going to be watching. This is the background show.
So for the background show, this is one where you can turn on. You don't have to pay attention the whole time to get the gist of the show, but you can be doing other things while doing it.
I chose, this is my only comedy on the list. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's a background show?
It's a background show for me because I feel like comedies are the best
How could
background
it be
shows.
a background show when it's so in your face?
Well, that's true, but a little bit. But you don't need to see every joke happen. You don't need to see every plot happen because there are 153 episodes of this TV show. If you're going to pay attention to every episode, you're going to not have any more time left, and you're going to be a worse person. Like this show, it's 5 despicable people because they added Danny DeVito in the second season.
That was the second season when he came on?
second
I
season.
thought it was later.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was like from the beginning.
No, so actually, fun fact: in the first season, like
I've seen like the first
know.
couple episodes.
yeah, there's like 10 episodes, I think, and FX. It's on FX, and you can watch it on Hulu now. FX almost canceled it because it's like the most low budget show ever. These guys created the show. The cast wrote and created the show. They bring their friends in. The opening theme is just a royalty-free song, and they went around with a digital camera and recorded Philadelphia, and that's it. And so FX wasn't really pleased, even though it didn't spend a lot of money. So one of the execs said, hey, I've got a buddy, it's Danny DeVito, and his kids really like this show. Maybe we could bring Danny DeVito in for ratings. And they did, and the show just took off from there. And it's been going for 14 seasons, from 2005 to
crazy.
now.
That's crazy.
I think it's the
How many
longest running
episodes?
live-action comedy, 153.
Most shows don't get 10 seasons.
No, per season.
Oh, it's about 12 episodes per season.
Okay.
So it's a cable show.
But it's still going.
And 22 minutes per episode. So they fly by. And the reason I call this a background is that, you shouldn't watch every joke happen. There will be episodes that stand out, but sometimes what they're joking about isn't great. But when you hear a great joke, Like you're gonna like you shouldn't turn this down and watch it. You should be maybe working on your computer and
Well,
then
turn out if your parents are around.
definitely. It's not a mixed company show.
This is TVMA, right?
It is TVMA. Like, they're not dropping.
I don't really remember that. Actually,
They only drop the F-bomb on like a couple episodes, and that's a few they could do on
It's not
FX.
the F words I was much
Content.
shocked by. Yeah, like there were some jokes.
I'm not even going to read the
I was
titles
watching-
of some of the episodes.
No, I was watching on a VidAngel, and some stuff got through, and I was like, "Whoa! I guess I don't have a filter for that one."
I watched the first handful of episodes,
Yeah.
and the content was pretty. I mean, it was PG-13, I guess.
Yes.
but yeah,
But think about if you haven't seen the show, it's
more
like
the themes, 'cause it's dark.
Seinfeld, but they're
dark.
worse people,
There's the
and they're
pitch.
all kind of dumb and high strung. And that's the thing. If you just pay attention, you're going to get a little irritated. But if you just hear it from not really paying attention, you're going to hear a few jokes per episode that will really stand out. But this show is really good. It's just a lot. It's a lot to watch.
See, I have the hardest time. I can't do sitcoms as background shows.
Not even The Office?
No, because ones I've seen multiple times before,
Yeah.
sure. But there's so many jokes in a short, like 20-minute show,
Yeah.
that I feel like I need to pay attention to the jokes and
See,
visuals.
I feel like this is good because there's no like character depth. They don't change too much. Whereas in dramas, I need to see how
Yeah, that's true.
characters undergo that.
yeah.
All right, Jake, what do you have?
Well, I actually feel the same way as you. First, I should clarify. I don't like background shows. I don't watch background shows because if it's on, I want to watch it, and if it's not worth watching, if it doesn't like capture my attention, I'm engaged and I'm fully invested, then why am I watching it?
That's Kent watching CW shows. I don't get it.
It's so true.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's hard. So, but I do feel like if it's going to be something, it's going to be comedy. And there is one particular show that I like, and that I like quite a bit, but it doesn't always capture like my full attention. My brain will wander onto other things while I'm watching it, and so it kind of works for that. Joel, this is a show you love. This is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I do love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yep.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
So you don't need to pay attention to every single inside joke that happens later?
Brooklyn
or-
Nine-Nine it's so much of the comedy is goofy.
I love
Okay.
it.
And so
But
it
it's so
doesn't.
fast paced. Like the jokes are like,
It is.
What
It's
about
very
this thing
quick.
right here? Show the clip, jump out.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounds
Yeah.
like Family Guy.
Not as well. It's
Have you not
as
watched
silly
it
as that
at all?
No.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Nope.
Oh, it's
It's
actually
fun.
it's probably the best comedy on TV airing right now, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's not like it's not even. Would you say it's tier one? Like tier one right now or tier one period?
Tier 1 right now.
I would agree with
Definitely.
tier one right now.
Okay.
Like
So low bar.
Well, no, but it's like
Thank you.
But the thing is, it's not like going to be one of the greats. I don't know though, because here's the thing: is when it got canceled, I was so upset, and then when it got renewed on NBC,
So there's a Fox show and then
yeah,
NBC.
then NBC picked it up. I was very happy about that, and so
Yeah.
maybe I like it more than I thought. But it's definitely one of my ones I look forward to. So good choice.
okay, what about you?
For me, I actually picked one that I have used as a background show, and it's because there are 28 seasons and 214 episodes,
What?
including 11 specials. I chose Top Gear.
Oh, okay.
No,
So Top
That's a
Gear,
great choice.
Well, the thing is, Top Gear is when my brother introduced me to it. I'm not a car guy. Apparently, I didn't know what a governor was, and people were mocking me for that.
Yeah, he's on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not a car guy. But Top Gear, if you don't know, it's about these hosts, at least in the prime days.
It's
about
like
these three
podcast
hosts.
buddies, but they have a TV show on the BBC.
Funny you should say that.
'Kay.
So on the show, they talk about cars, and then they also have like kind of funny comedy segments. But it stars Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, James May. And I actually, when I was watching this, I have now equated Jeremy Clarkson to Kent,
What?
me to Richard Hammond, and Jacob to James May.
And does that all fit? I want the
fits.
listener to
Is
tell
it
us.
so-
if
is
that
this
fits.
personality or
This is definitely
like
personality.
looks?
Like Jeremy Clarkson's kind of the guy who
He's abrasive.
He pushes the boundaries a lot and kind of gets in trouble for things he says. And I'm like, totally Kent. Richard Hammond's kind of this a little upstart who has a lot of mainstream opinions. They mock him for it. He's
Okay.
a little goofy.
Ooh, I'm
And then-
57 years old and British.
Yes, and James May is kind of the stuffy guy who thinks the other two are kind of idiots, and they kind of mock him for being so stiff. But
Okay.
it
Yeah.
fits out. And then they have the Stig, who is this anonymous
Is he the masked
driver.
one?
Yeah, he's the driver.
Sure.
And he test drives these amazing cars, and they have these amazing cars out there. It's really fun to watch these cool cars. But the thing is, it's not about the cars. It's about the comedy for me. And so, like, as they're
Comedy?
talking, yes.
I've never seen Top Gear.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's about
Jake.
the comedy.
It's hilarious. So they have.
I did not see that coming.
Like when they're talking about the cars and they're talking about the motor and the features of it and all that, I kind of glance up and I'm like doing other stuff, writing my journal or typing on the computer, something like that. But then when they start doing the segments, I really enjoy them. So, for example, they do something called the star in the reasonably priced car. Well, they'll bring on a star and put them in a reasonably priced car and then have them drive around a racetrack. And then they mark everyone's time, and they have a running board of who's the fastest celebrity, who's the slowest celebrity, including celebrities
is
like
funny.
Margot Robbie, Cameron Diaz, Simon Pegg, Ewan McGregor, Hugh Grant, Michael Fassbender, Kent.
Who's the fastest?
Rowan Atkinson, Michael Gambon. They actually named a curve on the road for Michael Gambon, Dumbledore in the later.
Is it because he had a rush to the Goblet of Fire?
Because he almost died.
Oh.
The car just like went up on
Way to
two
go,
wheels.
Ken.
Which way your name is the Goblet of Fire?
Well, he didn't like it was like the car kind of lost control, and they thought they were going to kill Michael Gambon, and so they call it Gambon Curve. And then Tom Cruise also raced.
Of course he did.
So they bring these stars on, they
probably
interview
won.
them, and then they have them do the track, and it's hilarious to watch these celebrities who aren't professional drivers, except for Tom Cruise, do these tracks. They also do things where they do like a cheap car challenge where they're given a budget in which to buy a secondhand car, and then they go through a bunch of challenges with whatever crap car they bought. They try to create like a hovercraft out of a car before they all try to do it together.
Where's this filmed?
In England.
Okay.
And but then they also go around the world.
But I want to know who won the cheap car
it's
star.
have to
ongoing.
watch.
They have boards out there of just showing all the greatest and worst celebrities.
Where can we find this?
So this is on Amazon Prime, but it's currently a paid one unless you get the 30-day free trial of Motor Trend. So you can then you get the free trial for 30 days. You binge watch this
28 seasons,
214 episodes. Well, technically only like the second season to the 22nd season are the ones.
and they're
like
on
the
a
prime
new
time.
show now. They
Yes,
did a
and
little
then,
spinoff.
but you can get the Grand Tour is what they
Right.
call it on Amazon Prime. That one's available for free with Prime, and it's basically the same show, but it's hilarious. And one of my favorite things, Jacob, I was going to tell you about this is when they go around the world and they do different challenges. Like one time they were seeing who could get to France the fastest from England, and one of them used the channel, one of them drove, and like they were trying different ways to get there, see who could get there the first. One time they were driving across America in like $1,000 cars and had to drive through the deep south, and one of the guys spray painted Hillary for Prez on the side of the car just to mess with the other guy.
Right.
Like, they play with so well off each other, and that's why I said it reminds me of Baconsale. But even if you are a car person, I highly recommend watching Top Gear. TV 14 most of the time.
Okay.
I should even TV PG. There's occasional time, since it's British, there's an MA where they'll throw in a random F word for some reason, but it's so like far in between that I can't tell you which episode it's on. But yeah, Top Gear UK,
And
the
most-
UK version.
Most of these that we're mentioning, if they are streaming on Netflix or Amazon Prime, you can get on VidAngel, which I'm
Yes.
sure you bring up.
Yeah.
And could you get everything on these streaming services on VidAngel?
I don't know. I don't know if a Top Gear's on there, but
Okay.
I know a lot of these I looked up on VidAngel. So yeah.
All right, our next category is going to be the mainstream rewatch. I'm going to kick this one off. So this is the show that you've seen before. And if you haven't seen it before, everyone else you know has seen this show. So, but I mean, we've categorized it as a rewatch, so maybe you've seen it,
'cause
or
we
maybe
know-
you've
It's
seen
comfortable.
parts of
The
it.
things we know, people out there are rewatching The Office and Friends for like the 20th time because they
Yeah.
love the show and the characters.
They're like, what
Which
should I
is fine.
watch, friends?
Well,
it's
that's
like,
fine.
Honestly, it makes sense right now because it's like, oh, that's comforting. That's familiar.
Yeah,
right now.
remember then.
Remember when Michael Scott was offending us?
Why aren't they social
by
distancing in the office?
myself.
Yeah. So my choice, I'm going a little geeky on this, and I have a runner up as well. But I'm going to go with Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Okay, never seen it.
So this is Patrick Stewart, as you all know, and a whole cast of people.
Do your Captain Picard impersonation. I want to hear it.
I have never even
Just say
attempted
Captain's Log in a very British voice.
that. Make it so.
That was it's
Engage.
like having him in the room. It's like having Captain Picard
You
in the
even
room.
shaved your head for that.
Engage. Yeah, if you don't watch, you'll have no idea what I'm doing, and you guys probably
Everyone
have no idea.
knows that. I was
Yeah.
gonna
Do
say.
they? Okay.
Yeah, that's what that like. The thing is, Next Generation has entered the pop culture realm where all of a sudden it's in my view. Where I'm like, I know things about the show, even though I've never seen.
You
a
would
single
still know
episode.
Jean-Luc Picard.
This show is a freaking delight. It's so weird and quirky at times, and yet it's thoughtful and moving at others. And you're watching it, you're like, holy cow, this is such a treat. So like you can watch this and like the things you'll never expect can happen, and you'll watch a show and you'll be like, that was not their best show. And then you'll watch another one and you're
How many
like,
times would you say this per season?
oh, not very many. Maybe one.
Oh, that's it?
Oh yeah, no. Most of the shows are pretty solid, and sometimes it's just character development, and there's like a slight like drama or something that's going on. But you learn to love these characters so well that it doesn't matter. They hit so often. Most of the time, like 90%. I'd say they have like a 90% hit rate. And then you'll watch some shows. Some are still like logged in my memory of like. They change my paradigm, like my life paradigm, thinking about some of the ways that they, just made you appreciate things.
Yeah. Anytime you meet someone named Wesley, you say, "Shut up, Wesley."
Yeah, there's no
That is a thing. Yeah, there you go.
My mainstream rewatch is actually one I'm mainstream rewatching right now. It's very close to The Office, but it's not. It's Parks and Recreation.
How many times have you seen it?
This may be my third or fourth time. I think I pick and choose episodes, but I'm like, okay, I'm starting from the beginning and I'm just watching these. And so if you don't know Parks and Recreational, it was on NBC back in the day in the must-see TV days. The absurd antics of Pawnee, Indiana's public officials as they pursue sundry projects to make their city a better place. That sounds terrible. But you have characters like Leslie Knope and Perkins, Mark Brandanowitz in the first couple seasons, Tom Haverford, and Ron Swanson. Now, Ron Swanson, yeah, of course, Andy Dwyer, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
This is the show that gave Star-Lord his start. Doughy Star-Lord at the beginning. Like,
very adorable Star-Lord.
He's like so doughy in the first couple of seasons, and then I love it because then when he became Star-Lord, became like muscular, they write in this one line where it's like, so all you did was stop drinking beer? And he's like, yeah, that's it. And this is what happened.
That's it.
I thought it was milk.
It might have been milk. I was either beer or dairy. I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
I
I
stopped
think it
drinking
was
milk. So it made me laugh. This is
Oh,
available.
no. That's because they had a running joke where it was always different things.
Oh, was it?
So throughout the episode, they'd be like, yeah, and then he would make up some new thing about how he did it. Yeah.
But this is on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Hulu. It's on everywhere. Originally ran from 2009 to 2015. It's 7 seasons, 125 episodes. Mostly TV PG, occasionally TV 14. It's an NBC sitcom language and mild innuendo stuff.
This is always one I delay watching. I've seen 3 seasons so far, but I kind of stopped because this is one that I can only watch when I have a significant other or someone I'm about to date. Because women love this show.
Thanks.
Maybe tied with The Office.
You women love my pick?
Yeah, no, I think it's a very
women
good.
love Ron
It's a
Stewart.
You're
very
really in
good
touch with your feminine side.
It's
is
a
what
mixed,
he's telling you.
a mixed company sort of show. And this is one that if I watched it on my own, I feel like it would be wasted because it would be like, hey, let's watch Parks and Rec, I could say to a date and not watch Game of Thrones
And they're like,
anymore.
it's a safe one.
Yeah, it's very safe.
But this one is interesting because it started off as kind of this Office wannabe. Like the first season isn't great. It's only 6 episodes. It isn't great.
Well, yeah.
But and I'll tell you exactly when it gets good. But the problem is, okay,
The paintball episode, obviously.
not exactly. Well, it's
community.
actually it's season 2, episode 7, Greg Pakaitis. And it's this episode where this kid, Greg Pakaitis, is torturing Leslie Knope on a Halloween night, and it's
That's a good
hilarious.
episode, yeah.
That's when it's like that one is when it hits its stride. But it's an amazing house, but you have to build the foundation with the first season. Like you have to kind
true.
of get through those, and they're 20-minute episodes.
It's
so
not.
pretty
It
good
doesn't
watch.
really win you over.
No.
Like the first one. It's
Well, just like he said, it's like the first
this
season
is
of The Office.
fine.
Well, in fact, after the first
I
season,
love the first season of The
test
Office. You do?
audiences,
Yeah.
Because it's like the British one.
test audiences were not happy with Leslie Knope and how she was like. They were like, she's like a ditzy Michael Scott wannabe,
Right.
And so they changed
That is
her
how it felt.
character.
Yeah.
And in the second season, she becomes this amazingly good at her job and maybe overeager instead of completely incompetent like Michael Scott.
Right.
Also, the series gets much better when they stop focusing on Leslie Knope and allow the ensemble cast to shine. So then you get like Andy and April and Ron Swanson, which is one of my favorite characters. I was him for Halloween once. But I feel bad, guys,
Why?
because I like this show so much that when we were on vacation with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, I forced my brother-in-law to watch the first season just so I was like, hey, we're watching another couple episodes tonight. Let's get through it, and then we'll get to the good stuff. And he was so put off by it. To this day, he will not watch anything beyond what we watched up there.
Yeah.
He was so bothered by it.
Because you're so stubborn about making him watch it.
So I was
and
like,
it was
you
a
gotta
bad
watch
season.
this.
Yeah.
You will like this. Eat your vegetables. So yeah, I'm
You're gonna
sorry.
eat your
Trees.
pizza.
Yeah.
All right, my mainstream rewatch, I'll just say this. There's a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge.
Teletubbies.
Yep, this is Teletubbies. This is the dimension we call Teletubbies. The Twilight Zone from 1959
Oh,
to
Twilight
1964.
Zone.
My goodness, Joel. Really? I went on for four. I went for as long as Joel went about Top Gear with my intro right there. 156 episodes. You can find this on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu.
This is original classic Twilight Zone stuff, the black and white stuff.
We're not
Good
talking
stuff.
about any of the 3 redos because
Yeah.
they even have a recent one going now. Not super great from what I've seen.
Yeah.
This is the classic black and white. Most of it's written by Rod Serling. He wrote 92 of the 156 episodes.
And
Rod
these-
Serling did that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But the thing I like about Twilight Zone too is that it is every episode is a mini story.
Well, and that's why I like this, and this is why I consider it a mainstream rewatch. You're not going to get a gem with every episode. Sometimes you're like, oh, you guys were really worried about the Cold War or this and this. But sometimes they're ones...
You were worried about a viral outbreak. You crazy weirdos.
My gosh. And that's why it's kind of relevant, is because everything is a short story. And yes, it may inspire some sort of fear or paranoia for a time long ago. But that was what was culturally relevant at that time. And the acting's fun, and the twists in 25-minute episodes. That's all it takes to tell a story. And they're phenomenal. Some of the best short storytelling I've ever seen.
Very well done.
In the fourth season, I call it the gas leak year. They actually went with 50,
Community.
Yeah, they went with 51-minute episodes, and they're not as good.
Yeah.
And so then in season 5, they bring it back to 25-minute
it
episodes.
has to be tight.
Yeah, this one, I mean, just a few of the episodes. We have Eye of the Beholder, Time Enough at Last, which is very relevant for right now. That's one. No fair. No fair.
glasses,
Yeah, with
yeah.
glasses and reading. Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Such a good character study. And then my personal favorite is An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. It is one of my...
Which one's that one?
It is one of where a Civil War
I think I know this one.
escapee is getting hanged. And then
That's a short story.
he flees for his life. It's a short story, and it was brought into the Twilight Zone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Watch this episode. It is one of the best visual
Holy cow.
movies I've ever seen.
I had no idea that was an episode.
And it's black and white.
That's one of my favorite
Well,
short
so
stories.
It's originally a German movie, and it's a 25-minute movie. And then Rod Serling's like, I love that. Can I bring that into the Twilight Zone? He did. So I think this one for my mainstream because it made such an impact for television. And I feel like it's even great now. And there's some funny episodes, fun episodes, scary episodes even, which is weird because it was so many decades ago.
Yeah, but still terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm adding this to my list.
Mine too. The ones I mentioned too, right?
Yeah, yes, a yes.
Get off the show, Jacob.
And it's fine. I'm too soon. And it's just An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge because that short story is awesome. Okay, so the next category is going to be not for everyone.
Now, this could mean a variety of things. It could mean that the content might be offensive. It could mean that it's too geeky. It could mean that it's not going to find a mainstream, widespread audience.
Right. But you like it.
Yeah.
So, Joel, what do you like that maybe not everyone will?
Oh, guys, I'll tell you. Not too long ago, if you remember, we would sit here and talk for a bit. We'd do our show. We'd talk for a bit. And then before I'd leave, I'd give you a little update.
Oh, no.
I'm choosing Gilmore Girls.
No. So when he talks about this, I think you brushed over that a little too much.
Speaking of the feminine side of these attachments,
He'd show up and we'd be like, hey, how's it going? He's like, well, Logan just cheated on Rory.
Hey,
And
spoilers alert.
It happened like 19 times in the show. Probably. And you wouldn't believe what Dean just did. I was really on Team Dean, but now, man, that guy is such a jerk. And Lorelai's been talking to
And they'd
Luke
be
like,
like,
shut
"Shut
up.
up."
And he
you
wouldn't
remember all
stop.
these character names really well.
I saw a season.
Yeah, he had to watch a season of it. So Gilmore Girls is one that, like I said, it's not for everyone. That's why I chose it for this, because you recommend it to some people and they'll just roll their eyes. I remember we used to work with a guy who he was a kind of a, I don't know how to say
A
it.
cynic.
He's a
straight
straight
up
cynical
cynic.
guy. But he loved Gilmore Girls, and I never understood that. And then I gave it a shot, and I'm like, I'm really liking the dialogue here. It's very fast paced, very quick.
Too fast-paced, but yes.
I mean, it's a heightened reality.
Right.
By the way, this is a dramedy centering around a relationship between a 30-something single mother and her teen daughter living in Stars Hollow, Connecticut. Stars Lauren Graham as Lorelai Gilmore, Alexis Bledel as Rory Gilmore, and then you get Luke and Mr. and Mrs. Gilmore. Melissa McCarthy is Suki St. James, which I know Melissa McCarthy has become kind of an abrasive presence in film.
We haven't seen her for a while, honestly.
Yeah. But I actually
yeah. I remember
really
her.
like her.
Way back.
It's like a different person on this show. Also, Jacob, Jaron Padalecki as Dean.
right?
Not Sam.
Not confusing at all.
Not confusing at all, because he's Sam. He's Sam on Supernatural and Dean on Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
When it's confusing because Dean's the name of his brother in Supernatural.
So this is available on Netflix. There are 7 seasons and 153 episodes, and it told
that's a
me
lot.
okay.
Does that
guys.
include the Netflix revisit?
No, so then you have the Netflix. That's an extra 4 episodes if you had the Year in the Life as they revisited Stars Hollow.
Is this all on Netflix now?
All on Netflix, and it is highly rewatchable. And I can't tell you, gentlemen, I can't tell you how much joy this show brought to me.
Really?
Because I got to the point where I loved the characters and I understood the characters so much that like someone would say something just different to Mrs. Gilmore, and I'd be like, "Oh, she's not gonna like that." Like it became this whole thing where I was totally
Oh my
into the
gosh.
characters. I was rooting for characters to get together. I was sad when characters broke up.
Was it ever frustrating when characters made terrible decisions
Yes.
just for the sake of drama? Because that's why I can't watch it.
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
like
is
it-
there's a couple times when they do that, and there's a couple things in the show that I really wish they didn't do. But overall, I was thoroughly on board almost from the beginning, and I was sad when this was over.
I think the best way to describe this show is it's a Hallmark Christmas movie written by Aaron Sorkin.
That's fair.
Because it feels
Because
like
it's good writing.
comfort food, but the writing is very good. The acting is fine.
Yeah.
I watched one season of this with this girl I dated and didn't go back because we weren't dating
To
anymore.
the show or to the date?
Both. But I was like, I will not watch the show. I was being so stubborn. And then I watched a few episodes, mostly to make Joel smile and laugh. And
It makes me so happy every time you bring
And
up actual names and plot points.
it paid off.
He must be very happy because he nailed it all.
He did. That was good.
I really did. But yeah, I was
Logan's the
I was
worst.
even Team Dean, and she's like, you don't know what he does. And he never got to the point where I
Oh.
hate Dean.
I don't like Dean.
Good choice, Joel.
Yeah,
All right, Kent.
I won't get into it.
So mine is like the opposite of Joel's choice.
Baconsale.
Exactly. So I'm choosing a Netflix show. The third season is out this past weekend as of this airing. It's Ozark.
I've been wanting to watch that.
Yeah. So Jake actually led me on to this one.
And this is on VidAngel. I saw it,
It
on
is.
there.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
You will need to watch it on VidAngel.
Yes.
And you're still going to feel like the
That
worst
pilot,
person ever.
That pilot is brutal.
Because this is Jason Bateman,
Laura Linney.
And I don't even know the plot, really.
Oh, okay. The plot is a financial advisor, Jason Bateman, drags his family from Chicago to the Missouri Ozarks, where he must launder money to appease a drug boss. This one, you'd almost say it's like Breaking Bad. This guy gets involved in this.
Jason Bateman makes his director debut, I
Yeah.
believe, for the show, too.
But you never really think Jason Bateman is a great father, husband, businessman, whatever. He does get dragged in a lot of stuff that he's really not complicit in originally. But man, he is kind of a terrible guy for the right reasons. I think that's the only way to really describe that. There are some moments that happen in the almost perfectly tight first season, because the second season wanders a bit, and I haven't seen the third yet. But that first season, there are some moments that I remember when Jake kind of sold me on it. He said, when this happens, you'll be sold. I think it's the second episode. I can't even say it, but there was a dramatic impact.
Yes.
And all of a sudden I'm like, this is a TV show? Like, how did they pull this off?
Yeah.
And it had my intention from
It's in my watch list.
immediately.
It's in my VidAngel watch list of like watch Ozark.
Yeah,
I think it's because you mentioned it, Jacob.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's. I actually haven't gone back to it. I've seen the first 3-4 episodes.
Okay,
and
season 2 or season 1?
One.
How far, are the
watch
Ozarks,
it.
how far are the Ozarks from where you grew up, Jacob?
That's where I grew up.
in the Ozarks?
Yeah.
So this is exactly like your life story.
Except they film it in like Georgia or something apparently because
Yeah.
they couldn't get the
Boo.
rights to film in Ozarks.
So what this is, it feels like Justified without Timothy Oliphant.
Well, what is that then?
But it's directed by
Not much.
Derek Cianfrance, who did Blue Valentine and A Place Beyond the Pines. Like this
So
whole
this
thing
is really
is,
uplifting, happy.
It's not uplifting at all.
No, that's one of the
And there's a
reasons
blue
to walk
filter over
away is-
everything,
Yeah,
and-
it was just the tone is just a little dark and
It
a
is
little,
so dark.
Well, that's all. The whole category is not for everybody. So some
Yeah.
people aren't
Yeah.
going to want darkness.
and the
amidst all
content
this.
is very heavy.
Yeah, I really appreciated the storytelling, but I didn't want to like live with it.
Are you a couple seasons in, or did you stop?
No,
there?
I stopped after a few episodes.
Oh, you stopped. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
get back into it. I can't wait to watch season 3 and to make my heart a
You
little
stopped
bit
because it
more
was
cold.
too dark for you, Jacob. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's
Not
fine.
for everybody.
That's what I said. Not for, it's the category.
Have a lighthearted show after this.
Am I going to like it? Did you like Breaking Bad?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't finish Breaking Bad either.
Joel, based on the acting alone in this show, you'll like it.
Okay.
The acting's solid.
Yeah.
But Kent's right. There's a moment where you're like, oh, this is for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, what's yours?
Mine is one I know Kent knows. It's the story of David Haller. He's a troubled young man diagnosed as a schizophrenic. And then he has a very strange encounter and learns that he has some very unique
I'm
powers.
so glad you chose this one.
This show is called Legion.
Oh yeah, this is the one you guys keep trying to get me to watch because you say there's a musical and it's funny. And
This show,
Yeah, I like how that's how we try to sell
that
it.
was the
There's
show
no-
you guys kept pitching. It's like they
It's a
start
musical.
Singing.
It's
they
funny.
start singing out of nowhere. It's so
That is
weird.
not how we pitch it.
That's the episode you guys were talking about when I first
No,
learned
we
about
were
this.
talking about that because it's
I think we
amazing.
said the guy from Downton Abbey does show tunes.
Yeah.
And he's the superhero.
Yes.
Listen, there are
Cousin Matthew is doing
it all
show
makes
tunes.
perfect sense. But yeah, that's it. This show creator Noah Hawley, who's done Fargo, and he's online to do a new Star Trek thing as well.
We'll see.
We'll see. I hope so. He's perfect for it. This show is amazing. This show is unlike anything you've ever seen, and it might send old people out of the room. Like if you're watching it,
What does that
because
mean?
the storytelling is schizophrenic. And the
Old
way
people don't like schizophrenia.
Well, they deal with it. They just don't like it.
I shared it. I shared it with my sister for a personal example, and I said, "I don't know if you're going to like this, but if you do, you're going to love it." And she's like, "Okay." We turn it on. My mom's around. I'm like, She's like, is mom going to like this? Oh, no, mom will not like this.
Nothing makes sense.
So
here.
my mom was literally like, what is going on?
But then what's the hook?
Dude, the storytelling, it's brilliant because it makes you think, it makes you be smart, it asks something of you, and the visuals like are just crazy, and the performances are spot on.
Two of the villains, Jermaine Clement and Aubrey Plaza.
I like both of them.
And Aubrey Plaza,
I like both of them in
even though
roles.
she's the succubus of charisma, season 2 shout out.
She is not in this.
She is not in
She
this.
is freaking brilliant in this.
So where's this one available?
It's on Hulu right now. It's an FX show, so everything from FX goes to Hulu.
Okay.
Now Disney
It
owns.
was Amazon when I watched.
Oh, it might be on Amazon as well.
Yeah, I think it's Amazon.
This is something that if you have a sour taste for standard superhero schlock, especially CW shows, this is
man. Go
wildly
watch
different.
this.
And it
Your
will
background shows?
Yes,
is
it will.
candy. No, this is not
fact,
a background show. You'll be lost in a heartbeat.
I
Don't
haven't
even blink.
watched season 3, which is the final season, because there's only 3. They had a story to tell, and they finished it.
Oh, good.
I haven't watched
I
season
respect
3
that.
Yeah.
because I don't have the time to focus on every episode, every second of every episode, and
Until
it
now.
needs that time.
Until now.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Great choice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good. I'll add that to my list, Jacob.
And let me add one more plug on this, and that is that I don't rewatch almost anything.
But you kind of need to.
This one, I am looking forward to doing it.
Okay.
It's like Stanley Kubrick. Do you like how I'm making all these allusions?
Oh, boy.
Stanley Kubrick directing the X-Men.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It is. And he's like, let's get crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. All right. Next category is going to be fun for kids and adults.
I'm going with a series of unfortunate events.
Oh, good
That's
choice.
a fun one.
It is so fun.
That's a fun one, but also an annoying one.
Why is it annoying?
I'm curious.
Well, I watched that with my kids, and I love the writing. I love the dialogue. But the story is so drawn out and slow.
It just keeps revolving
I'm glad you
around
said that
itself.
because it's too boring for me to watch.
Is it boring? So it's 50-minute episodes. They're not super tight.
It's like, yeah, it's like these moments of like, oh, really entertaining. And then you have to wait like 12 minutes in between
Well, but
things.
it became very formulaic for me too. But I will say this: this became a background show for me. Like we watched it as a family, but I'd be like doing stuff on the computer.
Yeah, the
stuff.
kids would be enamored by
And
it.
they'd be
And
there,
then,
and I would be listening, and I'd love hearing the dialogue and
Right.
just get a kick out of it. And so this is a good background
yeah,
show.
the dialogue's fun.
it's a very frustrating show, and there's only 25 episodes, if you could believe it.
They feel much longer.
Yeah. Well, they're 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And every one of these episodes is downhearted.
And every 2 episodes is a book.
Yes.
Like every book takes 2 episodes.
So whenever there's hope in this story, they take it away immediately. And then hope, take it away. Like it does get very redundant.
but it's dark for kids, meaning it's
My kids
bad, but
loved it,
never
though.
too bad.
And I feel like kids, much like probably when we grew up, you're kind of drawn to something a little bit scarier, maybe something edgier than you should be watching. This feels like an appropriate amount to
Yeah.
me. Because you have a villain with Neil Patrick Harris playing Count Olaf.
Did such a
and
good job.
everybody else in this show.
Yeah.
Because he plays many variations. And I just love the attention to detail they give it.
Yeah, the production design,
Yes.
and the camera work,
Yeah.
it matches so well what's being said. Like it's just
Right.
they know what their tone is.
They're breaking the
and they
fourth
nail
wall. You have a Lemony, Patrick Warburton is Lemony Snicket.
it. Yes, and it's also a vocabulary lesson almost every episode.
It really is. And then the opening song changes every 2 episodes, like you said. And then in season 2, so Neil Patrick Harris sings the opening song. He sings as the character he's disguised as. I just
Yeah.
love the little details.
Yeah.
It's like Game of Thrones, how they kept changing the intro.
Just a little bit,
But it's for a kid's show.
well, and I love the unique characters they put on here too, because like they're all kind of weird looking,
Right.
A little
Well-
off, but also really fun to watch.
Most people could say it like, oh, that's very Tim Burton-esque. But it's better and more relevant than anything Tim Burton has done in 20 years, I would say.
Fair.
And Barry Sonnenfeld, yeah, I know that you're thinking about it,
I had to
though.
go 20 years back and be like, is that true?
So it's created by
Big
Barry
Fish.
Sonnenfeld, who
17
did
years.
yeah, that was a while ago. Barry Sonnenfeld did Pushing Daisies,
Yeah.
and also Men in Black and a few other movies. But he has a certain style,
Some
and
of
it
your
really
favorites.
shows here. I really love Pushing Daisies.
Men in Black, you said?
The first one's fine.
No.
Yeah. I like how I'm ending with that. But yeah, really great show. And it's, yeah, they're longer episodes, but there's just a few, like 25, and that's it. Oh, and just to end with the synopsis, just because we did not mention that, why,
True. We should
why
do that
there's
for
like
each one of
different
these.
stories told every couple episodes. So it's after the loss of their parents in a mysterious fire, the 3 Baudelaire children face trials and tribulations attempting to uncover dark family secrets, which is why I think kids would really relate to it, because it's these 3 kids going through this, going against a world of adults that are kind of working against them, and sometimes 4.
and kind of idiots. Most of the adults
Yes.
in this show are idiots.
The kids are the smartest ones in the room
Yeah.
at all times.
Yeah.
Even the baby.
All right. So for my pick, honestly, I struggled with this one. I didn't have a strong feeling about any.
Well, because your kid right now isn't really watching high quality entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Is she watching Pocoyo or
no. We have
Ponyo.
Look, she's not as enamored with Little Baby Bum anymore.
Little Baby
But-
Bum.
That's it. That's the
Pingu?
one.
Does she watch Pingu?
No, I don't
You'll
know what
love
that is.
Pingu.
Okay, all right.
It's a penguin show.
Maybe I should find stuff because here's what it is.
Love Pingu.
It's like, you don't love Pingu?
No, I don't love
It's just
Pingu.
Disney. It's Disney Plus. This kid, from the time she was like, I don't know, maybe 15 months old, she could sit through a movie.
Nice.
Is that weird?
You've
Right?
done well, Jacob.
So
think
like
so.
12 Monkeys? What are we talking about here?
No, this is Disney Plus. She loves Moana. She loves Little Mermaid. She loves Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, you're starting to early.
She
You are
loves-
cursing yourself,
She
sir.
adores all these movies.
Good
She will
job.
sit and watch all
You
of
realize
them.
that's the rest of your life for the next 15 years.
Oh, no,
Fine.
it
It's
gets
fine with those ones. It's fine.
It gets worse. Here's our nighttime routine, right? We have to watch just a host on YouTube of Disney songs. So then we watch, Thank You from Moana, and we watch every single night, like 10 of them.
And you can tell she loves this.
This is what she's watching. Oh my gosh, she adores it. Anyway, so my best guess for this for family is a show that I was like, this is pretty good actually, and safe for kids and families. It's hard to come by that honestly sometimes. Lost in Space, the Netflix revisit.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this?
I haven't. Been waiting to watch this one.
So I watched season 1.
You say kids, but it's got some.
This is PG.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was thinking.
It's
borders-
violent,
It borders
right?
on PG-13.
You think so?
There's some S words and stuff like that in there.
I've been told by a lot of people this is a family show, though.
No, that's what I thought too. And so I was like, cool, let's watch it together. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, I might have to VidAngel this thing.
Oh, really? I don't. Yeah, I
For my
don't recall.
kids. For my kids, I should clarify.
So yeah. So Lost in Space. I do not have a synopsis, and I should have had that.
It's the Robinson family go out to space. And
After
they,
crash landing
there
on
we
an
go.
alien planet, the Robinsons family fight against all odds to survive and escape, but they're surrounded by hidden dangers. Will Robinson, dangers.
The strange thing about this is that it's like goofy family sitcom. It's like you suddenly have Full House, and then there's special effects, and they're great. And you're
Good
like,
cast, too.
And yeah, the cast is strong. The villain is annoying. That's the biggest flaw. Is
He was always hammy in every single version of this.
he?
Dr. Smith.
Oh, it's not a he in this one.
It's Parker Posey.
What?
Yeah, she's.
Why didn't you tell me that? I'm watching this one tonight.
Is it
I
as
love Parker
good
Posey.
as the 1998 film starring Matt LeBlanc?
Yes, definitely better than that. Fortunately.
that one.
It's like a 90s action movie.
It is. There is some moments of real suspense in this, and it doesn't always feel formulaic. Even though it is kind of a kid's show, and you kind of expect that, it's like, okay, the narrative actually went an interesting way with this. I appreciate it. It's totally watchable. I think kids will be really into it for the right age, and adults can totally watch.
By the way, Jake, I know your next show that you'll be watching, considering the Disney movie transition, Sophia the First will be the TV show that you watch.
Sophia the First.
Yeah.
not heard of this.
That's not what I like to watch, but no. So I wanted so much, Kent, to pick Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Right.
But it's not really available on any subscription service.
It was
right
on
now.
Prime for
It
the
was.
longest time.
Yeah, I actually bought it though because it was on Netflix, then it left. Then it got on Prime, then it left, and I'm like, I'm just buying this thing
Yeah.
so I can watch it. I wanted to pick that, I couldn't because that's actually an entire story that will help pass the time.
Right.
But I kind of went with one that some people find endearing and some people find annoying, but I get a kick out of it. I chose Phineas and Ferb.
Okay.
I watched this for the first time just a couple months ago, and I had
Just a
some
couple
family-
episodes?
a couple episodes. I was really impressed.
It's funny.
It's quick, fast paced dialogue, and it's all animated. It's a Disney show about Phineas and Ferb invent, scheme, and stay one step ahead of their bratty sister. Meanwhile, their pet platypus plots against the evil Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I could sing the entire opening theme right
Go
now,
on.
but I won't.
Please
because
proceed.
There's 104 days. No, I'm not going to do it. Anyway, but this is one of those episodes, or this is one of those shows where there's not an overlying arc in story. In fact, in each episode, quote unquote, you're getting 2 episodes. Like there's like 10-minute stories in between each one. And it is so formulaic that it's like, it's endearing. It's comfort food. In every single episode, you're going to have the boys just doing something. Candace trying to bust them. They're going to be like, oh, I know what we did today. Or no, Ferb, I know what we're going to do today. And then Perry, the platypus, is going to go off and battle Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Someone's going to ask, aren't you a little too young to do this? And they're going to be like, yes, we are. Like there's these running gags that happen every single episode. And I found myself, they have a musical number in the middle of it, but I found myself laughing every single time. This running gag that keeps going.
It feels so juvenile, like as far as like their sister almost finding out what they're doing or telling their mom, that sort of thing.
Right.
But for some reason, it is funny.
It is. Well, I think it's because they were writing knowing that parents had to watch this with their kids.
Okay.
And so they throw in these jokes that are just like, that's hilarious. Like, I don't know why, how they came up with this, but
It's the
find it
comedic
funny.
timing, the little bit that I saw.
Yeah,
It was just
definitely.
spot on.
Yeah. And this is TVG. This is squeaky clean. It may inspire some tomfoolery, but
Is that what the Parents Guide says?
but yeah, 4 seasons, 222 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so there's a ton of episodes of this, but it is so much fun to watch. If you haven't seen Phineas and Ferb and just want something to pass the time with your kids, this is one you can watch without wanting to claw your eyes out, and you may even actually enjoy it.
All right, our next category is what we're going to call Just Discovered. I mean, for me, it's more like recently watched. So I'm going to kick this one off. For me, I haven't had a lot of time to watch TV lately, but
Except you're the guy who always comes to us and is like, guys, I saw this random show on Netflix that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
those were the days. Those were the days.
Gallivant is on Netflix, by the way, Jacob.
Is it?
I saw that.
I watched an episode.
Oh my gosh, I need to go watch that.
You did watch an episode? Oh, that's right. You did.
I'm so happy to
On
tell
a
Jake.
date.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, so Just Discovered. I have chosen. I'm going to stick with a theme here, Picard. Because I watched this last weekend. Whole thing. No,
This
weekend,
is the most Star
weekend-
Trek has ever been talked on Bacon.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
it's our blind spot, by the way.
It actually is part of the reason I went with Next Gen because I had Lost was my runner-up, by the way, Joel.
Oh, I love Lost.
Yeah, I went with Picard. I know you guys wouldn't. You
Why
guys
did I choose Lost?
You
at any of
shouldn't. You
these?
shouldn't
know. You
watch
must
it
not like
because
very
you
much.
need to watch Next Gen in order to watch this, and it makes sense. And when I brought it up to you guys a few days ago, last week, whenever it was, you're like, "Oh, we heard it wasn't that." You
Yeah, I
know.
heard bad reviews.
I've heard Star Trek fans are not pleased with it.
Here's the thing with Star Trek fans: they want one specific thing.
It's almost like Star Wars fans.
Yes. That is kind of true.
Yeah.
And if it's not that thing, they're like, this isn't Star Trek. And I'm like, you people that are saying that right now, you listeners, I'm sorry, I do not agree with you.
It's
because
a tricky road though because they don't want the formula to change, but they don't want the same old.
Yes, exactly. It's like you can't be satisfied unless it evolves. Crap needs to evolve if it's going to be enjoyable.
Okay, Ryan Johnson, take it easy real quick.
Ryan Johnson, how
Yeah.
dare you? Those are fighting words. I'm going to throw this drink at
Jacob's going to leave the show. Ken, stop it.
That's it. I'm out. Ryan Johnson comparison. Man.
I'm sorry. I take it back.
Okay. So this show is actually it's good. I don't like love it, but it's solid.
This isn't a love. This is just discovered, and you're enjoying it.
Here's my problem with it. Here's my one problem with it is it's so lean that this is actually what makes it funny is because Next Gen, all the Star Treks, it's all of slow character development and you get into it and then there's moments of intensity, right? This is so fast paced that it doesn't quite give me the satisfaction of the character development that I want from Star Trek.
How they're only a couple episodes in, right?
9 and the finale's tomorrow, actually.
Oh, so only 10 episodes in the first season.
10
Wow.
episodes.
Interesting.
So thinking about your guys' comments, I went online and I went to Rotten Tomatoes, and the critic score is higher than
Rotten Tomatoes, sure.
Yeah, the source of all knowledge and truth is what
Right.
Joel calls it.
That's Wikipedia.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I found a quote from a critic that I'm not going to name because I didn't copy that part in. But she said, quote, Picard is Trek through and through, full of thorny ethical quandaries, social allegories, sinister admirals, and an undercurrent of optimism in spite of it all. And I saw that and I was like, that is spot on. Not Spock on. That is Spock on. Oh my God.
You're off the show. You're off the show. Good night, everybody.
So if you are looking for something, if you have watched Next Generation, that's why I added it in there. Go back, watch that one. Picard's well worth a watch after that. Or if you have seen it already, go check out Picard. It is available on
CBS
now, but that is through Amazon Prime.
Yeah, well, and also CBS apparently is opening up right now.
Oh, it's
for
free right now.
Yeah.
It's free for another day or something. Not when this airs, it won't be free
Quiet,
anymore.
you pirate. Mine actually has run 3 seasons. It ran 3 seasons, 79 episodes, and actually it was on from 1966 to 1969.
Oh, wait. What in the world?
Star Trek, the original series.
There's way too much Star Trek happening here.
What? What is
So-
happening? Are you lying right
No,
now?
I'm not lying.
Are we pandering right now? What's happening?
I had never seen a full episode of Star Trek in any incarnation. I'd seen some of the movies, but never a TV episode most of my adult life. And just recently, I said, you know what? This is a blind spot I need to remedy. And so I started watching the original series. And for a while there, it was drudgery. Like for a while, for the first
Some
few
of those
episodes,
old original episodes are kind of
I was like, man, what is going on here? This is the same repetitive formula where like, oh, we don't know what's going on and we're on a strange planet. Someone's acting weird. What's going on? And then they find out and then they resolve everything by Kirk taking off his shirt and punching someone in the face.
Sounds about right.
So
it does solve a lot.
I was kind of like, whatever, I know that and it actually wasn't a big ratings hit back when it was on. It wasn't until it became in syndication that people were like, oh, I like this show. But I'm now in the middle of the second season, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, not like this is one of my favorite shows of all time now, but I'm like, I get why people like this. I'm seeing the humor in the characters. It's the same thing I mentioned with Gilmore.
Oh man, just wait till
with
you get to
Gilmore
Next
Girls.
Generation because
Well,
it's a real evolution.
And that's my plan. I want to keep going. But it's like Gilmore Girls where I got to know the characters. And so now, like when someone says something to Spock, when Bones says something to Spock, I kind of laugh, like
You're like, I get that now.
He's ribbing him. Spock's so funny.
Spock's funny.
Well, it's funny how dry he is. Like he'll say something in like on this episode I just watched, and he's like, I think we're being insulted, and he's like, you are, or something like that. And I was like, that's hilarious. But but here's the funny thing is that
there is a quality to it. Kid.
Sure.
there is. And like I said, it's
No, it's essential viewing,
It's campy,
though.
it's corny. Each episode is 50 minutes long.
They're overlong.
And so they are
Okay.
overlong. So this is definitely one that you could put on as a background show. And sometimes I do. And I'm like, I get most of the story. I can look up like, oh, there's Harry Mudd.
If they
Okay,
could just
it's
shave
like-
10 minutes off of those, I would enjoy them a lot more.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And the effects are surprisingly good in some parts, but I heard it's because they're remastered for the Netflix one. And I was like,
really?
Okay.
Is it even good in season 3 when they finally cancel it?
I didn't make it to season
Is
3.
it slightly
Yeah.
better than average all the way through, I wonder?
Don't know.
The thing is, I'm enjoying season 2 a lot. And here's the funny thing is that Netflix retroactively puts ratings on this. And it's rated TV 14
What?
for sex and fear.
Well,
On the episode I saw,
Baconsale.
that seems a little redundant, guys.
it pulled up.
Oh yeah.
Got me friendly, Ken.
You said it.
You said it.
You said it.
But
Jake
I
said it.
But anyway, like it pulled up like the rating as I was watching it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And it was kind of a funny like in a couple episodes.
That is
of
funny.
So yeah, but like I said, this wasn't a big hit back on the day, but it actually eventually spawned a franchise consisting of 6 television series, 13 feature films, numerous books, games, and toys.
Crazy the legacy that had happened because
Really
of that.
is.
Yeah,
Really is.
And I'm finally discovering it. You might say I've done a Star Trek Discovery.
Wow. Wow. Nope. Nope. Which brings me to my choice of the show I just
Star
discovered.
Trek Discovery?
Deep Space Nine.
No, you're not.
Of course I wouldn't. Gross. I apologize to all the Deep Space Nine fans out there.
He doesn't know what he's saying. Don't
Yeah.
listen.
The show I just barely discovered actually this past week is on Amazon Prime, and it's called Black Sails. So this is went from 2014 to 2017. There are
Isn't that an
38
Assassin's
episodes.
Creed
I watched the
game?
pilot. I
That
wish
is
it
the
was.
4th one.
Yeah.
Because it's a pirate-based game, and this is a pirate-based TV show. The summary is, follows Captain Flint and his pirates 20 years prior to Robert Louis Stevenson's classic novel, Treasure Island.
I do like Treasure Island.
So this
This is a TVMA, right?
it is TVMA.
Because I think I watched the pilot to this one and was like, nah.
So they try to surprise you in the first couple
They don't
episodes,
call it
and
the
they're
pilot,
like,
they call it the captain.
yeah. Is that what they call it? But I'd say the content, at first, it's somewhere between The Last Kingdom, which is semi-mild, it's probably TV 14, up to Game of Thrones. So it's right between there for the first couple episodes.
Wait, have you seen Last Kingdom?
Yeah. I've seen about
because that's
5
definitely
or 6
mature
episodes.
violence.
Oh,
Sorry
yeah.
for the
As far as
first
violence,
episode.
I mean as far as the actual content.
Oh, okay.
I don't even see violence. You know that. But this show stars Toby Stephens, who is the dad in Lost in Space. Ray Stevenson. It has a whole bunch of British character actors in this one that you'd see in maybe some other shows, maybe some Game of Thrones and whatnot. But the show is so much fun to watch because the setting feels real. Like they're stuck on a Caribbean island for most of it. And then
What island?
Caribbean.
Would you say?
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I always get
Caribbean
confused.
or Caribbean?
It's Caribbean, unless you're watching Pirates of the Caribbean. But they're stuck on the island, and then they actually build real ships. And so when they're having like maritime battles, it feels like you're actually there. Like the effects
They
are
build
really cool.
real ships?
Yeah.
Oh, good for
And
them.
they don't destroy them, obviously. They throw a little bit of effects in there, but they actually put you in that setting. So Bear McCreary does the music, and he did Battlestar Galactica and
I
most
love his
cable
survival
shows.
shows.
Bear McCreary?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the history and the setting, I would actually say this kind of equates to The Last Kingdom. Granted, there's a lot of fictional stuff and it's based off a lot of book characters, but it feels
You keep
more
talking about The Last Kingdom. How much of that have you seen?
I've seen like half a season.
Okay.
It feels more historical than, say, a Game of Thrones fantasy type show.
Okay.
And because it's about pirates, everyone is morally gray here. And so you're like, I'm rooting for that guy. No, wait, I changed my mind. She's the best one on the show. Oh, she is irredeemable. And so it keeps jumping back and forth, and these characters are all three-dimensional. And so I would definitely recommend it. Once again,
Black
watch
Shells.
it on VidAngel.
Where's it at?
It is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Only 38 episodes. I'm only 5 episodes into it, but I can't wait to get into more.
All right, our next category is the Kent Choice, the hipster pick.
Oh, I've never heard of this one. Or have you?
This is one where the hipster pick means different things to different people. And I'm choosing this one not because I think it's like out there that no one's ever heard of, but I'm like, more people need to watch this, and they haven't. And it's only 2 seasons and 26 episodes.
I like that definition.
This is a quick watch.
More people need to watch.
And
No, it's more people shouldn't watch this.
No, they should. It's Better Off Ted. So if you haven't
I agree.
seen
Go watch this.
Better Off
great.
Ted, it's the synopsis is, in a science-based company, a manager tries to keep control of his scientists while being pressured by his shrewd boss. And stars Ted Crisp, Portia de Rossi, or excuse me, Jay Harrington, Portia de Rossi, and a bunch of other actors you probably haven't heard of. But you know Portia de Rossi. This is like right after Arrested Development as Lindsay. She went on this show as Veronica Palmer. This is available on Hulu. And it ran originally from 2009 2010. Like I said, 2 episodes. TV 14, like this is ABC stuff, but there's a lot of kind of sexual innuendo in this.
SE Actual.
SE Actual.
Yeah, please. Family friendly, Joel.
INNEUNDO.
And Innuendo is his name.
But this is it's
a lot of work.
It's this weird heightened reality of this evil company who's done everything from like weaponized pumpkins and then created killer pandas and robots.
But they don't act like it's an evil company. They're
No.
just going to work.
That's it. It's the whole kind of concept of an evil corporation, but it's like,
Right.
no, this corporation actually is kind of evil, but they like have all
It's a
the
9-to-5 job.
the 9-to-5 job, regular workers. And like, it's one of those weird shows where like the main guy, Ted, he will walk through and then he'll be talking to the camera. Like he's the narrator and the character. So he'll be talking, break the fourth wall, talk to the camera, and then he'll jump back to the regular scene. But there's just such witty dialogue between them. And the reason I think you should watch this is Phil and Lem, the 2 scientists, are one of the best comedic duos I've ever seen on television, the way they play off each other. I love these 2 together in this role.
They do really work.
And it's hilarious. And the company, Viridian Dynamics, they do this amazing running gag where they'll take stock footage and kind of piece it together and then turn it into an ad for this fictional company, Viridian Dynamics. And it's you can find these clips online, but I honestly think they're just kind of improving what they're seeing on the screen
Right.
and trying to make it relate to what's happening. But it's just such a funny show. It's one of those quick-witted, clever dialogue
You say
shows.
2 seasons?
2 seasons, 26
yeah.
episodes. And like I said,
Yeah, it's over too soon.
ABC has a problem with canceling shows too early, like Pushing Daisies I mentioned before. It got cut off. This one doesn't really have a finale, but it's okay because like you're not really watching for the overarching story. You're watching because you like the characters and you think they're
It
funny.
makes you laugh. All right, my hipster pick is once again not for everyone, but this is for hipster Kent over here. It went for 6 and a bit seasons that you can find on Netflix, and it
6
is
and a bit?
6 and a bit. So they
that
had 6
official?
seasons and then like a movie to wrap it up.
Oh.
It's a British show called Skins. So this went from 2007 to
I don't know
2013.
this one.
Is this family friendly?
Not really. No. 61 episodes. This
Okay,
is
It's
a-
called Skins, Jacob.
So the name is
It's about sports.
yeah.
Shirts and skins.
Shirts was the prequel series, and then there was
okay.
Skins.
Skins.
I'm going to leave out
Shirts is a
some,
little more family friendly.
I'm just trying to resist dating jokes with you right now.
oh, now?
Yeah.
Skins.
Thank you for refraining.
What's Skins about?
So Skins follows British teens going through high school, and the drama centered around relationships, partying, and larger consequences. And the unique thing about this is it's not like a high school show where it's like, hey, we're going to follow you through 3 years and then go to college, but it's less interesting. And it was really only fun and dynamic when you were in high school. This follows a new cast every 2 years. So basically it's like, hey, here's kids in high school, and it's a circle of friends. And then after 2 seasons, they'll graduate. You'll never see them again.
British people.
It's like
Am
an
I right?
anthology series,
Yeah.
but with 2 scenes at a time?
Yes, and so there are 6 seasons generally, and you get 3 different casts. This actually catapulted Nicholas Hoult, Kea Scodelario, Dev Patel, Jack O'Connell, and Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out. This is where they got
They
their
were all
start.
from Get Out?
Well, Danny Kaluuya, yeah. And so this is where they got their starts. The acting is really quite good. Yes, this is a teen show with teen drama, but it feels like a rated R after school special. but something about it. It may be the writing, it may be the great soundtrack, which is very like 2000s punk, like alt rock and punk, but it's more about their annoying teen lifestyles. Like the acting is that good that by the end of the second season, you actually don't want the characters to go. You're like, I could watch more of these characters, and then you have to get used to a new group of characters. And then by the end of their seasons, you're like, oh no, like I don't want them to go.
Sounds like Doctor Who.
A little bit, but I'm not going to go there because I don't want to turn people away. But yeah, the acting is fantastic. If you can handle a little bit darker content, if you can find this on VidAngel, there's some language and sexual content. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't go too far because they are teenagers and you can't show too much of that on TV anyways.
Right.
So it's more allusions to that and drug use. So
some of your
Just throw it at the end there.
some of your favorite things altogether.
yeah, but
Are any of your picks TV PG by chance?
oh heavens no. Do you know me?
I just was wondering.
Yeah, what was your watch with the family one?
Oh, it was
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the animated version.
Oh,
Obviously.
All right, my pick is Strangely Hipster. This is a show that ran from 1989 to 2013, but most people have not heard of it. It's a British show. It is the.
How have you not brought up Supernatural yet, Jacob?
I'm not going to because there wasn't the right category.
It's too
for
obvious.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
And it is too obvious, right? It's kind of
It's a
redundant.
mainstream
to this point.
rewatch, right?
I think so. Although it's a little weird how they're paused right now. Anyway,
On their last season.
I know, right? Like they're so close to the end. It's like, 2 months? No, this can't end. This is
means
probably
they'll go
why it's
another
all
couple
happening.
seasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they probably will. All right. So like I was saying, this is the Agatha Christie character, Hercule Poirot. He is a Belgian
Bello.
detective, and it's played by
Kenneth Branagh.
David Suchet.
Suchet.
Suchet?
Yeah, David Suchet.
Okay, and he's brilliant, actually. So this is one of these shows that you guys like. I mean, Patrick Stewart's been brought up. Like you bring him in like Next Generation, and it's like, holy cow, this guy can act, and everyone else has to step up their game to kind of keep up with him. This is him. It's just this goofy cast. It's just this murder mystery. It goes on and on. But this guy is from the same acting company as Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart and a bunch of these famous British people, and he anchors this show so it feels real the whole time.
Is it a television show or movies?
It's a
obviously
show.
adapted from Agatha Christie novels.
Yeah, no, they're just episodes.
Like, are we
And
talking like 4 per season, or is this
Like a Sherlock
what structure
kind of thing, or
this?
is it more like a 50 minutes?
For example, season 5, episode 1, I just went back kind of randomly. It runs for 50 minutes, and that's pretty standard.
Okay.
For a lot of these shows, you
And
kind
they
of
solve the mystery within the episode.
Yeah, there's occasional 2-parters,
Okay.
things like that. That's basically it. Now, this is it's kind of like your regular cut and dyed murder mystery, right? And you have this guy in an English area, so he's the fish out of water. His accent's very heavy, and he has these famous lines about little gray cells and things like that. But he's very compelling. He's very interesting. The acting from him is just spot on. You learn to love this strange old man with his tiny little mustache, not unlike yours, Kent, except
tiny.
except really good looking. And
thank you.
Oh, his.
Oh.
And yours is even better. Yes, it's just called Poirot, and you can watch it on
Spell it for us, please.
Amazon. Poirot.
Oh, Poirot. I've seen Poirot.
No, you've seen Ponyo.
No, listen. In case, listener, you're not convinced of this. If you like murder mysteries and you want to watch something you haven't seen
Say you're
before,
a fan of like Monk or Psych or
a-
Columbo.
if you're a fan of Monk, honestly, you're going to like this. And it's very British though, and that honestly,
British is it?
It's quite British, and it adds to the charm, honestly. So
Okay, so low production value, but still worth watching.
yes, low production value, great anchoring acting from him,
This
and
was 89 it started?
89 to 2013.
I swear I saw these like 70s versions of this show or something.
That's what
it
BBC
just-
feels like.
it
It
just-
feels like the 70s.
That was what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Yeah, BBC in the 90s, that's what it is. All right, for our final category, it is the show that you haven't seen. This is the one you want to watch. What do you guys have your eye
Maybe
on?
during this quarantine, we're going to give it a shot. That's what you're saying?
There are so many shows I want to watch, and I feel like I'll have the time to watch them now.
Like Gallivant? Like original Star Trek?
I'm only going to watch Galvan on dates.
Like Next Generation?
Like Twin Peaks?
like Better Call Saul.
Like Last
Better Call
Kingdom?
Saul?
But the
All
show
these ones Jacob and I have told you to watch for years and years and years.
that sounds nice, but the show I chose
Tell us about your decision making.
is Peaky Blinders.
You haven't seen this yet?
Oh.
Haven't.
Oh, you're going to like it.
I've heard people really like that
So
one.
once again, I'm going for a rated R show where every character is
Do you have
great.
anything happy on
Yep.
your list? Was there any happy ones?
No.
Teletubbies. I chose that kind
No,
of.
you chose Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's kind of fun sometimes. There's like ventriloquist dolls.
I just feel like you need more light in your life, Kent.
No, this is the stuff I love. I love the heavy stuff. So Peaky
Even your
Blinders.
comedy was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh man, this is so good. So this one started in 2013. It's still going today, but the seasons are very short and very spread out because the cast is kind of A-list Irish and British
Like Cillian
Irish and
Murphy
British actors.
is in it, I
Yeah,
know.
Tom Hardy's in there as well. We have Anya Taylor-Joy, Sam Neill shows up, Aidan Gillen, Adrian Brody for a couple episodes, Sam Claflin, and I'm only naming a few of the actors here because there are like 300 people in the show. There's only 30 episodes of this show. Which
you have
started
not
in
started
2013.
this at all?
Haven't.
Oh.
Because I knew it was going to be very violent,
It
a
is.
little hard to understand, hence subtitles, which I watch on Netflix anyways. But the summary is a gangster family epic set in 1919 Birmingham, England, centered on a gang who sew razor blades in the peaks of their caps and their fierce boss, Tommy Shelby, which is Cillian Murphy.
So razor blades in the peaks of their caps.
Yeah, so basically they're known by their outfits. It's a urban street gang, basically, right after World War I, leading up to World War II. And they dress nice, but it's still like grimy, and they have razor blades in their caps.
So if they
because-
get, it's just casual wear, but then if there's a fight, then they can pull the hats off and they can start slashing people.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And there's a fight scene in the pilot, and it's a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait. But yeah, so this is a dark show. They have like they deal with robbery, violence, racketeering, bookmaking.
Oh, bookmaking.
Bookmaking.
That sounds,
Ooh.
that sounds very
You know what
dangerous.
that's
We should have had a bookmaking category.
They use the glue.
that doesn't-
They get the paper together.
It means something else, Jake.
It gets Ken's blood boiling. You know what I'm saying?
That binding. What? No. But this is one I've always meant to watch, but it was almost so dark that I'm like, I'm going to push
It's
this
not
one off
that
for a
dark.
while.
It's not that dark. It's not darker than Ozark by any stretch.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to watch it. It's only 30 episodes. They're an hour each. Should be a pretty easy watch
During this time.
during this time.
The only one you can't understand, guess who? Tom Hardy.
Oh, of course. Oh, my
And I'm like,
gosh.
what on earth is he
Is his
saying?
face
Is he wearing a
obscured
mask
at
the
any
whole time?
point?
He's trying to have a stronger accent. Like he's leaning into it.
Ooh.
And so it's like double down on Tom Hardy trying to be unrecognizable. It's like, like, oh, I don't know. And he's got this giant beard too. He's crazy.
All right, Jake, what's yours?
Mine is, this is honestly a random shot. I've done no research on this. I saw one teaser and I thought, interesting. This is Devs.
Oh, it's brand new.
Brand new. Yeah.
Nick Offerman in it.
Nick Offerman, speaking of beards, Nick Offerman
Speaking of Parks and Rec.
has a beard, and and I've deliberately not looked into it very much, but I would take tiny teasers from you guys if you know more. Just the mood on that one, that's it. I don't have a lot to say about that one. I'm like, oh,
I saw Nick Offerman talking about this on a talk show recently, and he was basically just saying that his character is like this genius type who works in computers and things like that. And so I was like, that seems so different from
very
the
different.
technophobe Ron Swanson. But
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. But what was the piqued your interest about it? Just that Nick Offerman was in it?
No. It was like they found a role that he could do, and they made his look different enough that it was like you're not just looking at Ron Swanson, you know. Mm-hmm. And
It's a miniseries.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, that makes me like it more.
An FX limited miniseries.
And FX, I didn't know that either.
So it'll be on Hulu.
Yeah, like it even more again.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I was going to say, I don't know much about it, but it's, I'm just looking. It's TVMA, 50 minutes per episode, it looks like. Do you mind if I read the synopsis, Jacob?
Oh, please.
A computer engineer investigates the secretive development division in her company, which she believes is behind the disappearance of her boyfriend.
Interesting.
Less interesting now, but yeah.
Sure.
It's no longer in his list.
Yeah. I was hoping for more mystery there.
But FX kind of kills it.
They do.
We haven't mentioned Fargo,
And
but everyone should watch Fargo.
Yeah.
I want to save that for another episode of this.
Too
but
bad
Fargo
it's
is
my
amazing.
pick.
it should have
It is not.
attention.
It is.
Yes. Is it really?
It really is. I was going to do this whole thing where I'm like, okay, guys, this show stars Timothy Olyphant, Ted Danson, Martin Freeman, and just have you guys go, what the crap
Billy
is
Bob
this show?
Thornton.
And Billy Bob Thornton and Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I'm so happy you put this.
So everyone keeps telling me, Joel, you need to watch Fargo. And I'm like, I didn't like the movie that much.
It's just
As
like
weird
Chris
as that
Rock,
is.
too.
Yeah, Chris Rock's coming in the next season. So this is one of those shows. I'll read the synopsis.
Is Noah
first.
Hawley still a creator on that?
I don't know.
Various chronicles of deception, intrigue, and murder in and around frozen Minnesota. Yet all these tales mysteriously lead back one way or another to Fargo, North Dakota. Now, I've been to Minnesota. I've been to Fargo, North Dakota. I don't want to watch a show from North Dakota, but for everyone seems to like the show. 3 seasons so far, 30 episodes so far. It's on FX. And
They are brutal and unforgettable.
It says it's
kind of brilliant.
It says TVMA and it's FX. I'm like, it's on TV, but it seems like it has a lot of stuff in it. So I didn't know what the content exactly was.
A lot of murder.
It's like a light R.
A light R.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that. But the thing I find interesting, a couple of things I find interesting, is that one, each season, different casts with some little overlaps here and there. But you're following a new group of people. Yeah, apparently that's what it said. It's like there's some overlaps.
I don't remember any
between
overlaps
seasons.
between 1 and 2.
Probably like a
Story-wise,
side character walking
slightly.
through or something. But then also apparently each season contains references to Coen Brother films, which I like the Coen Brothers. I liked Fargo. I just think it was
A little overrated?
overhyped. Yes,
Okay.
when I finally saw it. So this is one where it's going to be dark, and I know it's going to be dark, and so I'm kind of building up to it.
Oh, it's
But-
dark.
You will love Martin Freeman in the first season, but also think he is pathetic.
Oh, gosh. He's
Well,
such
he's
a
so
worm.
great.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's an unforgettable character.
Yeah.
It really is.
And so this
I
is
wanna
one
rewatch
where that's the thing is this is one where I'm like, and I don't have Hulu either, and so I'm like, I need to find a way to see this because I hear everyone likes it, and everyone keeps telling me I'll like it.
This is one of these shows. I know you don't really forget shows, but like sometimes I watch something and then I'm like, I don't care, and then it's gone. But this is one, like the performances from Martin Freeman and Billy Bob Thornton on this
Sticks.
It's probably the best of either I've
Season
ever
2,
seen.
Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons are amazing.
Yes, they are.
Jesse
They are.
Plemons. So yeah, there you go. That's my pick. Was
Such a
Fargo.
good choice. I'm
Yeah.
very pleased.
So there you go, guys. There's our picks. These are ones that we're offering to you as options out there that you can watch with a subscription service while you have some extra time, maybe during this time.
Maybe possibly that you do. Okay, guys, real quick. Name the show you love that you really want everyone out to watch, but they haven't watched it. Here's mine. I've talked about it before.
Supernatural.
Justified.
Oh yeah, I've watched the first couple episodes of that.
Love that show. Love that. I've gone through that one twice. Again, really rare that I'll rewatch anything. But this is Timothy Oliphant, and he's in the boot hill of somewhere, and it's all about, it's like grimy Western hillbilly culture, and the storytelling is just fantastic, and the villain is one of the best on TV over the
You can
last
find
10
it on
years.
Amazon Prime, right?
Yes.
All right, mine would be Spaced. You can find this on Hulu. This is Edgar Wright's TV show with
What?
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
watch that.
It is absolutely fantastic. It's very old in British, meaning 21 years old. So it feels old.
Wow.
But
Where's this at?
This is on Hulu, and it is really the precursor to Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. You see it in the episodes.
Interesting.
I think, Jacob, maybe it's because you brought it up, and I realized I missed it, but Lost. I feel like a lot of people.
Have people not seen Lost?
That's the thing. It's like
if they haven't, I agree with you.
My
They need
dad used
go
to bring
see
it up like all the time in his classes in college, and he realized there was a curve near the end of people who were going to college who weren't like watching TV, that type of TV, when they were younger, so they never saw it.
Oh, wow.
And so I feel like the younger generation,
It's like the Last Destination TV show.
it's like the one you should see because Lost is one of those game-changing TV series where every episode it ends on some sort of I gotta watch the next episode. I gotta know what happens. Like
In
every
4
single
weeks,
time.
you'll find out.
It's like a Dan Brown book on TV.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to wait for all those gaps in between seasons. You can just
I
binge
could
right
have
through
never
it.
waited.
And
I
it-
only streamed it.
That's the thing is we had to wait.
Yeah,
I remember
or binged it.
having discussions about what do you think happened. I bring it up, and we could do a whole show on this. We've talked about doing a whole show
Yeah,
on
we have.
Lost. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, this is a great one to pass the time. And it's TV level stuff. It's ABC.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you're not going to get. There's a little questionable material in there, but nothing beyond TV standards, network TV standards.
Mine's a little grittier. That one is. It's
Justified?
FX. Yeah.
FX. They push some boundaries.
They do.
I think that's their slogan.
FX
We push those boundaries.
So there you go. There is our list of shows for you, so you can enjoy that during this time of self-quarantining.
So basically, I don't want to go to Facebook the day after the show releases and have people say, "What should I watch?" And if people do say that, send them this episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, please do, because we're probably not going to watch it, because whenever people ask me, what should I watch? I will spend so much time gathering information,
Yeah.
asking questions, looking for things on different sources, and then compiling a beautiful
And they're
list.
watching Big Bang
And they're
Theory
like,
again.
I'm going to watch The Office again. And I'm
Yeah.
like, fine.
Yeah.
Why did I waste my time telling you what to watch?
Because you can't help yourself.
Where's my face? I started like Rorschach there for a second.
What?
Yeah.
All right, but before we go, we would like to thank the I Am the Listener category and the Bacon Council. So starting with I Am the Listener, it's Terry Finley, Stephen Ross, Adrian Gray, Chris Strout, Braden Winterton, Crew Dutler, Colton Cook, Jennifer Kilkowski, and disappointing Joel with weekly name changes. It's a more civilized podcast.
Not just me.
And then our Bacon Council is Nicole D. Hale, Chris Anderson, Ryan Farron, Mats Mudro, and Reverse Listener.
Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Also, thank you, Jacob, for 5 years on Baconsale.
Yeah, thank you, Jacob.
I'm not dead.
Yet.
No, why do you guys keep talking about me like I'm dead?
There's
It
the pandemic.
feels so final. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter, or you can find me performing with Quick Wits when they start performing again. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quick Wits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my movie reviews from a couple months ago, it's at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
You can reach out to me on Twitter at Jacob A. Rogers. I'm known to interact there if it's Baconsale related. Otherwise, Twitter is a very scary place.
Can we still tag you?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
Awesome. And you can go find Baconsale merchandise, tpublic.com/Baconsale. We have a lot of cool stuff there. You can go represent Baconsale, grab a sticker, put it on your laptop, do whatever you like. You can find tons more content, as we mentioned, from Patreon. If you'd like to support us, we really do appreciate it there. And if you were waiting for me to not be around, this is the time, okay? And if you do join, make sure you say that's the reason, because that's really going to please me when we discuss it with these guys. But yeah, that's patreon.com/Baconsale.
All right. So until next time, are you still watching?
We all have clothes on while we huddle in the closet together.
I'll keep this all in the real show. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll leave it on again. Thanks, Kent. Can't edit this out.
In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, Joel. That's what I have to say.
I want Joel to swear more.
Nope.
Please? Stifle him.
Stifle. We're bringing in handsome guys?
Yeah, Kent insisted.
I am ready. Are you ready? Jose's on a vacation.
Oh, so bad. I can't do it.
Let's try again.
Oh.
You got this.
Jose's on a vacation. No.
Oh, man.
That was more
I
the
need to hear
delivery
it first.
from last
I need
time.
to hear it first. Yeah. And then it'll be less terrible.
LUV
said-
still sounds like love.
Oh,
you guys,
you're right.
Hey,
Love
you guys.
So you can't make any new friends anymore.
Yeah, not when you have a mustache. Usually I just like watching you guys, but tonight.
Gross.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Joel doesn't like being watched. I do. You
Okay.
mean Jimmy English?
Yeah, Johnny English.
It's a bad season. Yeah.
like this. Eat your vegetables. Get off the show, Jacob.
And it's fine. I'm
Too soon.
Oh, she's not going to like that.
The guy from Downton Abbey does show tunes.
Yeah.
And he's a superhero.
Yes. Old people don't like schizophrenia.
Well, they deal with it. They just don't like it.
Is Mom gonna like this? Oh no, Mom will not like this.
It may inspire some tomfoolery.
Not Spock on. That is Spock on.
He's ribbing him. Spock's so funny.
You said it.
You said it.
You said it, but I said it. That seems a little redundant, guys.
INNEUNDO.
And innuendo is his name. Shirts is a little more family friendly.
I'm just trying to resist dating jokes with you right now. You learn to love this strange old man with his tiny little mustache, not unlike yours, Kent. It's a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
Gets Kent's blood boiling, you know what I'm saying? The journey was fun, but you guys sucked at the end.